I need to just clean out my bookshelf a little bit. Glad y'all are here with me. I don't know how much you could see from the video, but up till all the books, all the way till here are fiction books, beginning with Arabic and then ending with English. And after this I have a few plays, book of plays, and then I have some graphic novels, and then I have memoir, and then nonfiction about specific things, and onwards, and then ends with just some notebooks. These right here are all the feminist books I have talked about that I need to, fix and put in places. Here's the thing. Being someone who buys a lot of books and receives a lot of books as, gifts or, just for free, and someone who obviously kind of likes books, so she receives a lot of books as presents, you just do end up sometimes with books that you don't love. And it's like that scene from Ratatouille where the critic has a bite of the food and he's like food, I love food. Where just because you do criticize some books doesn't mean that you don't necessarily like them, and doesn't mean that you don't see merit in them. I do believe in only having and keeping things that you love. Don't keep things that you're just kind of meh about. If you don't really like it, why do you have it with you? So I'm just kind of going to be taking out books that I don't love, because I do need space for the books that I do. The shelf below this one, I kept it for medical textbooks. And then the shelf below here, I don't know if you could see it, but the shelf below here is for books that I haven't read yet. And it is too many books, so I really should not be buying new books, but at the same time I receive a lot of books, and at the same time I just, I've bought some books because they were cheap and I want to eventually one day in my life read them, and I don't want to keep any book as if it's holy other than the Quran, but I don't want to deify any books, so I don't want to attach more meaning to something than it deserves. I'm genuinely dealing with some space issues, and I only want to keep books that I love, so I don't mind getting new bookshelves if I love all the books that are already here, but I simply don't. And the problem is, yesterday when I went on my rant on fantasy, it made me just realize that there are some books I'm just never going to read, and those are the same books that I'm never going to recommend to anyone, so why do I have them? I don't know. No shade, but first thing to go would be the Patrick Ness Mate. I've tried, I've read all of these books, and they were okay. I didn't hate them, but I didn't love them, and they were so popular on YouTube for a while, and it kind of made me realize that not only do I just don't like fantasy much, but I also don't really like young adults, and I'm not a huge fan of dystopian. I don't see the appeal. Okay, sure, you'll read one or two dystopian books. See, with this book, I had one thing dog-eared. This book, which is the third in the series of A Monster Calls, nothing. The second one, I tried. I do have some stuff dog-eared. This isn't even dog-eared, lol. I don't even think this is correct. I don't think I put this in the right place. Yeah, it doesn't matter how profound it is. I just genuinely don't care. And I am sorry, Mr. Ness. I wish I loved these books, because my screen name is Maryam Nisai. Me and you could have had something beautiful, Patrick. See, there's just nothing. I didn't dog-ear anything, so these are the first to go. Since I also realized that I'm not a huge fan of young adults, John Green, someone I deeply admire and respect and who I followed online for years, and I love some of his books. I didn't love all of them. So Will Grayson is one of the first ones to go. See, even back then I was dog-earing. I didn't dog-ear anything. It was alright, but it wasn't amazing. I think I'll keep it at those for now. Especially Patrick Ness. He took up so much of my bookshelf space for so long. And the second I find a good way to donate the stuff, I'll just do that. That means I'll shift everything a little bit. These are my bookmarks that I've either gotten for free or, gotten for free as gifts. From my friends, from my aunt, from my mommy, from myself. See, when I give myself a bookmark, it's not exactly for free, but it is a gift, so I accept. This book doesn't say much. I liked her other books, Alexandra Potter. I liked some of her other books. This one, not so much. I really liked her other one. Do You Come Here Often? I love this one. I've read this one multiple times. So many times. I don't even know how many. This one I've also definitely reread, and I like it and I enjoy it. I don't love it, but if someone comes up to me and who loves romantic fiction and who loves, chick lit, I might recommend this one. I might give them this after I give them some of the other greater books that I have. Oh, Across the Universe was okay. I got this secondhand. Don't feel bad about it. I'm good. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. They're okay. I did enjoy reading them, but at the same time I was heavily influenced by BookTube, with other people saying, oh my god, I love this book so much. I remember this guy, I don't know if he still makes videos anymore, but like his name was Jesse the Reader, and he just talked about how much he loved this book so much and he read it 5 times. It was good, but like again, not exactly precisely in love with. Won't really think to give it to anyone specifically, like, oh, you must read this. It's really good, but to me it wasn't anything special. One thing I have an almost issue with is I don't like buying books at their height of hype, because I know everyone is excited about it. I know everyone's maybe been waiting for it, but I know it's not necessarily something for me. But that is what I did. I think I bought it in like 2013, 2014. It's alright, but it's, you know, it's good. Oh, this one I just love so much and I want to talk about one day. But I'll talk about it one day, not now. Oh, The Casual Vacancy. This book was expensive. Yeah, I don't care. Before reading this, I genuinely thought maybe J.K. Rowling was one of my favorite authors. But then I read this and I'm like, she's really not one of my favorite authors. I'm good. So I do enjoy the Harry Potter series, and I guess I kind of like Tales of Vita the Bard. But like, I mean, with this one, it's like, but why? Like, I understand why she didn't want to have it originally written under her own name, and how she originally had it under a pen name, so no one really compares it to Harry Potter. Because how do you live up to Harry Potter? You can't. Like, you just can't beat it. So I guess that's also not a book that I'm in love with. I'm also trying to make sure that there is some space between the books. So if I wanted to add anything, I do have some leeway. It's not always, you know, have to shift everything the second I want to do anything. Well, this is another book. It's beautiful, it's nice, it's cute. It has so many things that would make me love it. Like, oh my god, you know, girl has to shift schools, and oh no, she's living in Japan now. Oh no, she falls in love with a Japanese boy. Oh no. And it does have some magic, and it does have some like Japanese mythology, I guess. It's really good. I think it's just not precisely for me. I liked it, didn't love it, didn't have any lasting impressions on me. But like, I mean, this is literally supposed, like, based on the premise alone, this is supposed to be one of my favorite books, but it's not. White man goes on drugs, takes a road trip, and it's supposed to be profound. I don't care, mate. Sorry, Hunter S. Thompson, I don't understand. This is one of those books that are hyped. I don't know why people choose certain books to be like the height of literary fiction, and you know, this is life-changing and everyone has to read this. Oh my god, you haven't read this before? What's wrong with you? Guys, it's just... didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. Like, okay, for example, this book is critically acclaimed and everyone says it's so great and everyone must have read it, and it's taught in universities, I think, or high schools or something. And you know, books like this make me feel like, oh, maybe I didn't get a proper English literary education. I should really be reading books like this. But it's not a good book. And then there's books like In Her Shoes, which people don't ever decide and don't ever say that it's critically acclaimed and oh my god, it's so good. Just because it's popular and just because people like it doesn't mean that it's not good. People like it, people enjoy it, and I know that the cover of this book is the cover of the movie, but I just really did enjoy this book. Alright, so still kind of at memoirs. Some of these are really good. Wow, madam, you're not going to tell us which ones? No, I'm not. I'll leave that for another day. I'm kind of sad that I only have this tiny amount from Why Not Me, because I went to a book conference in New York, and they're giving this out for free. I really like Mindy Kaling, and then she does have some really great ideas and stuff I want to talk about. I just don't have more books. I don't have the full book, her first book or her second book. But see, that's the beauty in having friends, and that's the beauty of being able to borrow books, because you don't necessarily have to buy something in order to love it and appreciate it. The main issue with my nonfiction is that I don't have it organized in some easily computerized way. I have my nonfiction organized in terms of category of what the subject matter is. So even though I consider Motherhood by Sheila Heti to be both a feminist book and also a book on, you know, choosing to be a mother or not, those are two separate sections of my bookcase. Not that I have more books about, like, I kind of have some books on how to choose if you want to be a mother or not, but this is dealing almost exclusively with should you choose to be a mother or not. So I consider that to be part of, you know, life choices. But I also consider it to be a feminist book, so sometimes you just gotta choose. So I would keep this book, The Friendship Cure, which was returned to me recently after How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And yes, I own this book, and yes, I've read this book, and yes, I love this book. Don't judge. So it makes sense in my mind. After that, I would keep The Social Animal, which is a book on, you know, humans and how social they are. And your girl did dog ear, but this is when I used to dog ear badly. Yeah, this is when I dog-eared badly. This is back when I was in school. So my dog earring covered parts of the words. Now I just dog ear a slight tiny amount so that it doesn't cover everything. Moving on. And then The Lonely City by Olivia Lang, talking about loneliness and dealing with loneliness and how it's dealt with throughout the ages and different people who've had different thoughts about it. And then we move on to The Rules of Life. And then what comes next? I can't remember. See, this is the problem with taking out too many books at the same time. I know that motherhood comes before children, and I know that daring greatly comes with The Rules of Life, and then feminism is down here. I have Dispatches, which is a political book about Vietnam, so it's a country. And then I have Headscarves and Hymens because it's also about a country, like the Middle East, feminism. Then comes essays, so Roxane Gay. Also, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie deals with more Nigeria, so goes more with country. Mary Beard, again, more UK, more Eurocentric. And then The Mother of All Questions is also a book of essays, so next to Roxane Gay. And I think for the most part that's it. I'm just going to space out my books a little bit. What we have here is Choosing Whether to Be a Mother or Not. And then we have How to Talk So Kids Will Listen and Listen So Kids Will Talk, a book on parenting. And then we have the Book of Lists for Teens. And then we have The Invisible Woman, What It's Like to Be a Middle-Aged Woman. You can tell your girl really went on some weird self-help, deciding every single thing about your life in 2 seconds bend. I also have a book about being in your 20s, but it's in my car right now because I know that someone wants to borrow it, and I'll see her eventually, so that's how that works out. If you ever want me to go in a full in-depth review on how this works, I don't think anyone will care, but I could. See, the purpose of this is also that you want your bookshelves, well, I want my bookshelves to breathe. I want it to feel dynamic, I want it to feel new, I want to look out into my bookshelves with like hearts instead of pupils. I want to just love everything that is here. I know there are some more books that I can just automatically take out, but I don't know which ones. I have this book, My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier, and I love this book so much, but it doesn't end because the publisher, the last few pages of the book is just not there. So I had to illegally download the PDF file just so I could finish reading the book. I paid for the book, but I didn't get the rest of it. Like literally page 310, which is the last one in this book. I'm just gonna see it. I'm gonna put it down like this, wait. But as I explained to her, this cousin of yours is now a man and not a what? A what? A what? I mean, guys. I don't know what to do with this book because, like, I love this book, but I can't exactly lend it out to anyone, and I can't exactly reread it. I can reread it up to a point. I need to talk to the publishers, and I can't even get my money back, I don't think. It says here that I got this from Dublin, and Hodges Figgis is, like, one of my I think it is my favorite bookstore on the planet. And it's not their fault, it's the publisher's fault. Like, I mean, what am I supposed to do with this book? Like, what a terrible prank when if you give it to someone, and they just, what? I mean, that's a great prank, but I wouldn't do it. That's horrible. I wouldn't do it. I think I'll just like keep these books out. See, even this one. The Rest of Us Still Live Here by Patrick Ness. The premise of it is interesting because it's like, okay, if the world was ending and there was a chosen one and there are chosen people and they're the ones that are dealing with the problem, okay. But the story is not about them. The story is about these peripheral characters just trying to live their normal lives. And it's an interesting premise, but like... Oh, there's another one. I just remembered. Where did it go? Yeah, here it is. They both die at the end. They do die at the end, but I don't care. It's not that the reading experience wasn't good, it's just that it wasn't particularly memorable. I didn't particularly love it, and I'm just trying to surround myself only with things that I love. So I will keep all of these away for a while until I can figure out what I want to do with them. Man, it's just it's not a waste exactly, because I have spent hours and hours of my life on these books. I don't know if I would say I regret it, because I was talking to a boy from my high school back when I was in high school about reading books. I wasn't talking to him, he just overheard a conversation I was having with someone else. And we were talking about how, oh yeah, we really didn't like this book. We both read it, we both read this entire series, we didn't like it. And then he was like, why would you guys read a series that you don't enjoy? And then I turned to him and I was like, well, don't you watch a lot of anime? He was like, yeah. And I'm like, do you love every anime show that you've ever watched? Are you in love with every single movie you've ever seen? No, but it is part of the process. Thanks for watching. I don't know how VEDA is going, to be honest. I don't know if anyone is enjoying them or watching them. Let me know if you have any video recommendations, not video recommendations, things that you would want to see me do. I want to do a sibling tag with my brother. I want to do another barrada haul that I had last year. I want to do a taste testing thing. I want to have a video with me and my friends. Not just Neda, I love you, but not just you, but I want to have videos with other people. I would really like to interview my parents, but I highly doubt that they would like to be on my channel, and I don't exactly want to highlight the fact that, yes, mom and dad, your daughter is online. Not that I think they have a problem with it. They don't. But yeah, I'm just gonna put these away now so they're not in my face anymore. I'll see y'all tomorrow.